This is the inside of the 2021 Benimar Tessoro 482. If I firstly come to the main control panel, I can turn the 12 volt on by firstly pressing this button, followed by this one. Beside this, we then have the water pump on and off. We need the water pump on to be able to get water out of the taps, flush the toilet and fill the boiler if it's been drained down. Next we have the awning light on and off. And then buttons along the bottom mainly give us information. So this first one here lets us know the condition of the leisure battery. And then this one here will give us a condition of the vehicle battery. This one here will let us know how much water is in the fresh tank. When the waste tank needs to be emptied, a red light will flash here just to indicate that you need to be thinking about dropping that water. When the fresh water drops into the last amber, this amber light will occasionally flash to again let you know that you're getting low on water. And if either of the batteries were low, again you will get flashing indications beside them. This button here just controls the illumination of the control panel. So we can dim it down and we can brighten it up. This light here is just indicating that we're currently hooked up to mains electricity, and a light will illuminate here when we start the engine to let you know that the alternator is charging both the leisure battery and the vehicle battery. For this to come on, you do need to make sure that this button's on and this one is as well. Beside this control panel, we then have the Truma control panel for the heating and hot water. So to turn this one on, just press the black button. And on initial startup, you'll get the clock and you'll also get a little picture of a 2-pin plug letting you know that you're hooked up to main supply. If we now press the menu button, we'll get a series of icons, and as I rotate the button, they will begin to flash. So if we start with the first one just here, this one is for your heating. So if I now click on it, you'll see that heating is off, and all I now need to do is just rotate it and pick whatever temperature I would like it to be inside the motorhome, and it will go right the way up to 30 degrees. Once you've decided on a temperature, click to store it in, and you'll now see a little flames appeared above. That little flame there just represents the heating system, and it's just letting you know that you've set a parameter. Whenever the heating's actually in operation, it will start to flash, and it will continue to flash until it's achieved the temperature you have asked. If I now click again, and we now move to the next icon, this one here is for your water. So if we now click on it, we can heat the water up to about 40 degrees on eco and about 60 degrees on hot. And we can also perform a boost on the boiler. The boost was mainly designed for if there's going to be more than one of you having a shower in quick succession of each other, or if you just need hot water extremely quickly. If you do perform the boost and the heating's running, it will turn the heating off because it needs that extra power to be able to perform the boost. And again, the icon will continue to flash until it's achieved the temperature you have asked. The next icon is power source. So we're currently using, to have the heating on and to heat the hot water, mains electricity, indicated by the little lightning strikes up there, and we're using mains electricity at 2 kilowatts. If I rotate, I can lower the power consumption to 1 kilowatt, handy if we're on a low amp site to try and avoid tripping. If we have both power sources available to us, we can run in dual fuel mode, so we can run on a mixture of gas and mains at 2 kilowatts, or a mixture of gas and mains at 1 kilowatt. These settings are very handy, especially in the winter months. If you want to get up to temperature really quickly, it will only use the gas as it's required. And then lastly, if we don't have any main supply at all, we can solely run on gas. Next we have the circulation fan for the heating system. So at the moment it's in eco mode. We can turn it up to high. If I was to turn the heating off and go back to it, we can also use it to vent the motorhome. Next, we have the lower icons, and this one here is for a basic timer. So if I now click on it, we have a start time. So literally pick, and then we have an end time, and then we literally just put on what we would like within that timer. So we just want to be using gas. And then lastly, timer on or off. If I activate the timer icon will come up there, and then within that time period those settings would apply. If I now return to it, I can turn it back off again, and when we go back in we can then alter it. Next we just have clock set, and then lastly we have the settings menu just here. And within this we have offset, which is just for the thermostat just here. If you don't think it's quite correct, you can just slightly adjust it. Temperature, just if you prefer it displayed in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Brightness of the screen. 12 or 24 hour clock. Language. Index, which is just for the technicians, it just lets them know what software it's running. And then lastly, full factory reset. From time to time these panels will throw up error codes. They will usually be something relatively simple. So at the moment we are running on main supply. So if I pulled the mains lead out or we tripped etc, it would let us know that we no longer have main supply connected. A warning triangle would appear where my finger is, and you get a series of numbers and letters. If you look in the manual, it will then tell you what the problem is. A lot of the time now the manual is available to download from Truma's website. Googling it as well is just as quick nowadays. Once you think you've rectified whatever problem it is letting you know is wrong, all you then need to do is just wait, and then the error code will usually just automatically disappear. If it doesn't, just go back to the warning triangle and double click on it, and it will then sometimes say no error and then disappear. If that still doesn't work, if you still have bits running like I have at the moment, just turn them off, because it can reassess a lot faster when it's not trying to do lots of things at once. If you've done that and you still have no joy, I always suggest the good old-fashioned turn it off, turn it back on again. And the way we turn it off is just by holding the button in until it says off, and then waiting till off disappears on the screen, and then turning it back on. And again, if this still does not work, then just lastly do the factory reset. It will not hurt it in any shape or form. Sometimes these control panels just need to be reset. With this Truma control panel, it can also be controlled via the Truma app. If you are going to do that, firstly download the Truma app from the App Store onto your device, and then make sure the Bluetooth is turned on your device and launch the app. It will then firstly ask you to come to the iNet box, which is located above the microwave and just here, and it will ask you to come and press the Bluetooth button. Once you've done that, it will send the Bluetooth signal out, and then you'll start connecting up. Once you've connected up, you will then be able to control your heating and your hot water locally via Bluetooth. You can, if you want to, buy a pay-as-you-go SIM card, and then it inserts in the top up here. Register that through the app, and then you can control your heating and hot water from much further afield. Whilst we're up here, we also have the digital amplifier for the television aerial on the roof. You'll see on and off just here, and we can control the boost just here. We have the Avtech Television just here. It can be slid out just here, and then it can be folded round just by pulling here. Fairly normal TV, operates the same as most, but this one runs 12 volt, on and off as normal just here. This TV does also have DVD player and USB connectivity. All the normal stuff on there. You'll see that you have your TV guide just here. And as you change location, you will need to retune the telly in. So you'll see that you have this button here, which is your quick tune. Just literally hold it in. It will then take you straight back to the retune menu. Just hit OK and it will then retune itself back in again. Sink. Cutlery drawer, but also in the cutlery drawer you will find the gas isolation taps for the appliances. They're all in the on position and can quite frankly stay like that. I always say if you smell gas in the van, just go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. But here we have the fridge, heating and hot water, barbecue point and the cooker. If I now come to the bench seat just here and remove the cushions, and we now lift up, we have storage in here, but we also have the trip switches just here, so kind of exactly what you may find in your house. So we have the individual MCBs, and we then have the main RCD and the test button. We then also have the 12 volt fuses just here. So again, if something's not working on 12 volt, just come to check to see whether or not you've blown a fuse. Battery charger just here. So this is what's charging both leisure and vehicle batteries when being hooked up to the main supply. We also have the extra part of the battery charger just here. This is also where the solar panel is linked to as well, so you can see what it's up to with the flashing lights that come on just here.